you done fucked up. Yo, welcome back. This is the Not Holding Back series. This is your boy Fat Man DD1. I know it's been a minute. Let me be real with you all as we speak on this, right? This is going to be a very tough topic. It is battling cancellation, Dave Chappelle, the LGBT, WQRX community, and everything about that. And YouTubers getting into situations with that same community. A lot of shit has been happening. Let's break it down. And if you're joining me to the Not Holding Back series, we don't hold back. I go in, I curse, I do everything YouTube doesn't want me to do. That's why I do this series. I am the rawest at this moment just because this is my personal series and I've done everything in my best to keep it 100. And we have a playlist on everything that I talk about, from the bullshit that happened with the Vic Mignogna stuff to everything that's happened with The Last of Us 2 and all the bullshit with Neil Cuckman and everything with Naughty Dog, Fake Dog. It just is what it is. And now we're talking about Dave Chappelle and cancellations. Yeah, shit's crazy. So if you're joining me, thank you for joining me. Click the like button, click the subscribe button. Let's just get into it. This is going to be a long video and we're going to have to break this up into different videos. So let's go. We are talking about the basic walkouts that happened last month in the 20s, October 20th, and a lot of articles came out, a lot of stuff came out, and we're going to talk about all of the shabangabang. And if you're with me and joining me, let's get down to it. We're just going to jump into the article because you already know what time it is. It's time for us to dissect and cut smash there, my niggers. I'm playing. Here we go.
The fallout from Dave Chappelle's harsh words about trans and LGBTQ+ communities in his Netflix special The Closer crested Wednesday with a walkout and rally that saw more than 100 protesters and allies attend and present their list of asks to the company in the wake of the controversy.
100 people. It's a lot of people, but it's only 100. It wasn't like 10,000. Like, these Black Lives Matters and all of the Blue Lives Matter motherfuckers and anti-vaxxers and the people that were down for vaccinations and weren't down had more bigger protest numbers, I believe. But, that's fine. At least you showed out to support your peoples for nothing, by the way.
BIGOTS minor, the Netflix employee fired last week from the streamer for allegedly leaking financial information to the media about Chappelle's comedy special, was among those participating at the company's Vine Street offices near its Sunset Boulevard headquarters. I want my child to grow up in a world where they see that their parent, a black, trans person, because I exist. Contrary to what the special says, contrary to what many people say, that I'm valued and I'm an important person, the former program manager told the crowd today, to Cheers.
That in itself, Dave Chappelle never said you didn't exist. He never said you weren't important. He did say one thing that is very controversial to this point, that black people, black trans people, and people who are trans and also white are assholes sometimes, and his comedy doesn't hurt people. What he said is, my jokes don't hurt harder than the way they bullied his friend to suicide. He said it. My jokes do not do any harm worse than these communities. Basically, in his own words. You just gotta read through the context. He was on that stage saying that you may believe that you are trans, and you can believe it, but I have the right to disagree with you and not really care about what you are. I can understand it. I can accept it for what it is, because that's not my life. Because, nigga, you believe that shit. Any man who believes in him being what he is and he chops his dick off, he believes that shit. Dave Chappelle, let that be. But what he's giving the communities out there is, you can't just go out here canceling people because we question you, because the baby says something about sucking dick on a fucking stage, and it wasn't even nothing to gay people last time I seen it. I remember watching that video and I was like, there's nothing crazy here. And the fact that he never said anything in his special that you don't exist. He never said that. He just said, nah, okay, but y'all motherfuckers can't take a joke. Y'all motherfuckers can't take hits. You act like you're the most victimized people in this country when it's not. It's black people, Native Americans, Mexicans. The fuck is wrong with you? That's basically what he said. I'm probably paraphrasing, but you can really see it in the special that he makes these points. Like, the fuck? Let's continue.
Pagel's minor later told Deadline on the sidelines of the rally that they did not leak information to the media, despite what Netflix insists. I compiled a series of data. I'm a data person, and I shared it with a lot of people internally, Pagel's minor said. If they're going to fire me, they're going to have to fire a lot of people, the former staffer added, noting that they were never directly informed as part of their employment contract about what they could and could not distribute.
The fact that he said some shit like, oh, I don't know what I can and cannot distribute. I'm like, it should be obvious that you have contracts, you sign certain paperwork, you do certain things that you're not supposed to talk about. The fact that this man is like, well, I didn't leak that info. That's a bullshit damn claim lie. You know it. You know you did something stupid enough because you was mad in your fucking little panties that Dave Chappelle jumped on the platform to speak about something, to attack on something, or just make jokes about it. Because that's all the special was. Making jokes, making points of view, and understanding that you do exist in this world, but you gotta take a joke. You gotta get thicker skin. There are gay people who, back in the days, were gay. Motherfuckers was fixing cars. They came out to their friends and family, and niggas was just like, okay, you like guys, but can you hand me that fucking socket wrench? Like, there were gay people back in the days who did everything straight just to, regardless, hide themselves of ridicule, And now that, regardless, I watched Q-Force and that whole shit was mad sexual for no fucking reason. A lot of my friends or other friends feel like, yeah, you could be gay, you could be trans, but does everything have to be super fucking sexual with you guys? It's a little extra, which is true. But mine is that you exist. His special wasn't demonizing you. And the fact that you leaked information about this and that, you're an asshole. You're worse than the man who just made a couple of jokes. Like, come on, bro. Let's continue.
They said they had no current plans to take legal action. Filmmaker Ashley Marie Preston, who organized today's rally, was also among the speakers along with Transparent creator Joey Soloway and RuPaul's Drag Race star Eureka O'Hara at the event, which comes 2 weeks after the launch of Chappelle's The Closer and the subsequent fallout. Dave Chappelle doesn't get to take the light from this moment, Preston told the rally crowd, adding that organizers reached out to Chappelle but were rebuffed. Other speakers called on the cheering crowd to cancel their Netflix subscriptions. Trans people are in the middle of a Holocaust, Soloway told the crowd, adding,
Holocaust.
Misogyny is gender violence, and calling out Chappelle directly. Soloway also demanded that a trans person be placed on the Netflix FKing board. Preston said at the rally that organizers planned to call out board members if there is not a change towards equity and leadership options.
Shut the fuck up. First of all, people got on Gina Carano's ass about making some type of comparison with the Holocaust. She said this shit is the Holocaust. Trans people are in the middle of a Holocaust. Are you out of your fucking mind? What the fuck in the middle of the Holocaust, bitch? What Holocaust? What Holocaust? Somebody doesn't like you. Cool, they're gonna move on with their lives. I can accept you for what you are. Can I understand it? No. Do I have to care about you? No, because I have my own life to live. So do you. But never, in the words of anyone, is somebody out there. Do you know what a Holocaust is? The Holocaust happened to the Jewish people. They were genocide, massacred, killed in violent, disgusting ways, and giant clumps of people were murdered. The fact that Gina Carano mentioned something about people, the Nazi people and the Jewish people were just living together and were friends and family members and stuff. They were just near each other. The fire got stroked by Adolf Hitler, the press and the media, to hating the Jews, demonizing the Jews, fucking doing everything towards the Jews. And then the Holocaust started very slowly. If you have a Jewish person, snitch them out and you get this amount of money in the newspapers, fucking posters and billboards. That was the beginning of the Holocaust. No one is doing that to Jewish people. No one is taking you and demonizing you in the newspapers, disrespecting you, gathering you in clumps and putting you on trains and fucking murdering you in massive tubs of humans. Like, for real, no one is doing that to you. No one is doing that to you. The fact that you said you're in a Holocaust right now is you feel like you're being picked on. You're being persecuted, but you're not. A man may have said so. Misogyny is gender violence. Is the dumbest shit I ever heard. The dumbest shit. Me being a man is gender violence. That's fucked up. And also, you demand that a trans person be put on a Netflix board. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. How do you demand something like that? You have no grounds to demand anything. You were fired. Shut your bitch ass up. These are the same motherfuckers who will sit there and complain about shit like that. And talk about, we reached out to Dave Chappelle. Actually, they did not reach out to Dave Chappelle. And here's a video to talk about that. Let's get into this. We're going to watch this video real quick because... oh, why the fuck not? Motherfuckers out here is bugging.
It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees at Netflix, and I refused. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we are speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore.
Which is facts. You demonize the man to the point where he can't go to the office. This is not a safe working environment. It was a safe working environment last week, motherfucker. The fact that the man opened his mouth and said some jokes on their platform, you feel ashamed and messed up. You feel that it's wrong. Dave Chappelle at his age, he's just out here disrespectful. But so what? He basically said it in the best way possible. Yes, he made a reference towards the baby who didn't really say anything crazy. It was crazy that he said something, but it wasn't directed to LGBT community, sucking dick or getting AIDS. He didn't say, oh, the gay community out here sucking dick and getting HIV and AIDS, fuck out of here. No, he didn't say that. He said, I bet you in the parking lot sucking dick to get back here. Now, I bet somebody must have been out there like, oh, this is an attack towards me because I was out in the parking lot sucking dick. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here, bro. I don't even know if that's true, but it's just the way it is. He made a comparison. The baby shot and killed someone. He didn't get arrested and his career wasn't canceled. But the moment you talk about the LGBT community, anybody out there, you get canceled just for disrespecting them or making jokes or talking about them. That's fucked up. Because I can't do that, but I can murder a black man. It shows how hypocritical the world seems to be on this. I can kill someone, but I can't talk shit about someone. It makes no sense. I should be in trouble for both? Cool. But fucked up and equal value, right? We want equality. Here's the equalness on that. If I kill someone, I still got in trouble. If I talk shit about someone, I still get in trouble. But talking shit or saying a joke or making fun shouldn't get you in trouble. Killing someone should. The opposite shouldn't matter. What happens is sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Nowadays, it feels like the words that people say are the needles and the shotguns and the bullets that really hurt bitch-ass motherfuckers. I'm sorry. When did the world become little bitches? Yes, I grew up getting made fun of, getting bullied, and I punched people in the face. You can't hit him, but he made fun of me. You can't hit him. Oh, but I punched him, but you can't hit him. I would get hit first, and then I would hit back second and be the fucking person getting caught hitting that kid. So it's my fault. You know? Shit like that. Use your brains for a minute. If you can't take a joke, he's not saying you don't exist. He's saying people aren't going to accept it. Yes, but they can understand it and probably move on with their lives. Stop talking and live your life. You may say that you were born a man, you feel like a woman. Cool. But don't make people try to believe that shit because you are not a legitimate man. That's how people feel on it. Live your life and say, well, I feel like a man. Then go about your life. You can't convince everybody everything. And that's the same thing when it comes to this political shit. I don't ever get these two ideas because they mesh with each other and it's just one person fighting, the other person fighting, and then you're asking yourself, nigga, I don't want to be here. Dave Chappelle don't feel safe there because guess what? You were like, I don't feel safe here. Like, what's the fucking point? You want to talk to the man, but you can't because you're all being bullies. He used verbal words like bullets, and Dave Chappelle is good at his words. That's why it hurts. It hurts them. It's fucked up that it does that, but you gotta grow thicker skin. It took me a long time to realize I can get made fun of, I can get yelled at, but I'm not gonna throw the first punch because there's no point. He didn't attack me in a way that I have to strike back. Every argument, everything can be broken down by a conversation if you're willing to have that. But if you're not willing to have these conversations, don't be out here 100 people protesting. Y'all niggas is dumb. This man always got on some nice Jordans.
I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, that is not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say.
Which is true. Think about it in the grand scheme of it. Articles after article after article after article after article. Shit, I'm paraphrasing and breaking down articles as we talk about this because it is about corporate interest. It's about what you can say and what you can say in these type of communities. Who runs the corporations now? Are corporations being more politically correct just to save face? Hey, we might want the LGBTQ community's money because Pride coming up next year. Or, you know what I'm saying? Every brand, including PlayStation, except Nintendo, changes their fucking logos to the rainbow. And no offense to everybody, I love the rainbow, but every time I look at it, I don't see gay people. I just see a fucking color of rainbow. That used to symbolize people for me. Every time you see the rainbow, you used to be like, oh, colors of the world. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up, but it's true. That's how I used to see it. Growing up, I was like, oh, the rainbow is the symbol. It's the symbol of the human spectrum, you know, anger, fear, and all this other stuff. And then it's the symbol of, like, our world. Like, we're all a giant rainbow of colors, rainbow of food. We're all fucking, you know, plastered everywhere, different. That's what I thought of with the rainbow, which is weird. But in itself, it's the corporations against it. It sounds true because the media is using this to frame that, hey, Dave Chappelle should be canceled for this. YouTubers are like, nah, he didn't really say nothing wrong. Like, it was crazy, but it wasn't, like, wild as fuck. It wasn't like, oh, it was demonizing as hell. Like, no, it was stuff that pokes fun, but also stuff that makes you just want to have a conversation. A bigger conversation. Because a lot of black people grew up with Christian families and all of that. Like, families who are very religious in the black community, and they don't really care for homosexuality, being trans, and it's fucked up in its entirety. And that's how a lot of people grew up. So how do you try to convince generations and generations of Christian black people who've been, no offense to anybody out there who is Christian, indoctrinated by these religions? Because I'm black, right? My ancestors are from Africa. And in Africa, there are different religions before Christianity came over, because the Europeans were at the time traveling the world to spread the faith of God and the word of the Bible to other people. At the time, it was kind of like the Crusades. The Crusades was more bloody and violent. But in general, black people have been indoctrinated into Christianity. They've looked at Christianity. They've been raised on it. They've been had it spread across the world into certain areas. And now it's like, what do you do when you're trying to convince them that homosexuality is wrong? And I don't know, it doesn't say that in the Bible. It says, usually, last time I checked, pedophilia is wrong. So being a pedophile is wrong in the Bible. But they look down upon that. And how do you change those minds, those elderly minds? That shit's hard. And some of those people are part of certain corporations and companies that have to now bend the knee. Or a lot of LGBTQ people are now working in these corporations and feel offended by these words. And now that is the cancel button. Oh, he's been canceled. Press the big red, I've been canceled. Like, oh, you know, it's fucking crazy.
For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about.
To him, his
In
friends.
summer 2020, when the whole world shut down, I was outside doing shows. My neighbor had
outside.
a cornfield, and he let me throw shows there, and people came from all over the country. Some people came from around the world to see those shows. The best comedians on earth came to my home and broke bread with me, and we lived our lives. We found a way to keep moving forward. I made a whole documentary about it. The first night of those shows was a piece that some of you might have seen. It was called 846, and it dealt with the murder of George Floyd. This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted. And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals. And now, today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film. Thank God for Ted Sarandos at Netflix. He's the only one that didn't cancel me yet.
It's crazy how he came out with a documentary and now no one will touch it just because of the words that he used. Now, regardless of that, now you're taking the man's livelihood, taking food out of his mouth. You're taking what he stands for, how he's making bread. Dave Chappelle is an artist. And artists are always going to be those who are controversial. Regardless if he's a comedian, he uses his words and his platform to express his art. The art form of talking, having a conversation, breaking a joke, making people laugh. I've seen this special. Regardless, the Jewish jokes were, at first, they weren't funny. But then I realized, that's kind of hilarious. Dave Chappelle has probably been around a lot of fucking Jewish people, which it's Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? The guy likes to travel, go around, make jokes, have fun. There's nothing wrong about these jokes. Nothing he said was like, he never said, we should take a trans person and hang them up and then lynch them. He didn't say that. He never said anything towards demonization of these people. But now he's being demonized. He can't get his film into festivals. He can't show off because everybody wants to be fucking inclusive. But then you want to exclude someone who didn't even say the craziest shit, and someone that is supporting, that was in the protest. We passed her name. We're going to talk about her in a little bit. And she had some demonizing, disgusting words that she said that's being thrown back out into the ether. And we'll get to those soon. But Dave Chappelle said nothing demonizing to the point where he threatened to murder, destroy, kill, none of that. He's being demonized himself, just basically out there as a villain. Like, he's the villain. He's the evil mustache twirling motherfucker. It's fucked up.
To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands.
Yeah, nigga. Yeah, ain't bending to nobody. Fuck you saying. He's not that nigga. I ain't no bitch. I ain't taking a knee. I ain't pussy. You must have thought. You ain't gonna summon me. What am I, genie in a lamp, bitch? I'm Aladdin. Fuck out of here. Aladdin wasn't the genie. But motherfuckers is really like, for real, we gonna get this motherfucker to change his mind. We gonna regret him but this ain't gonna be a screaming match. You ain't gonna sit there and scream at him. And which a lot of these people do, and we'll get into the protest video as well. A lot of it is just screaming, yappity yap yap yap. Let's continue.
And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing and a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
I don't know who fuck Hannah Gadsby is, but last time I seen it, she's a lesbian comedic or trans comedian. I think I seen one thing that she worked on and it wasn't that funny, so she probably not that funny. So let's continue.
I desperately want people to see this movie, but I understand why investors would be nervous. Since nobody will touch it, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will make it available for all of you in 10 American cities going on sale in the next few days. You will be able to see this movie in its entirety, and you can see what they're trying to obstruct you from seeing. And you can judge for yourself, but you cannot have this conversation and exclude my voice from it. That is only fair. You have to answer the question, am I canceled or not? Then let's go. Thank you very much, and good night.
He loves dropping that fucking mic. So, let's continue. The most part I can say is Dave Chappelle is saying, you're not excluding my voice from this. Regardless, you feel like you're marginalized. Now you're trying to attack me and I'm becoming marginalized. Let's see how you like it when I put my film out there. Bitch, I'm not gonna canceled. Fuck out of here. You're not stopping me. I'm not bending the knee. And that's from his words. And he said it. If you don't like me, watch my special. Let's for real on that self. And I respect that 100%. Let's continue the article after we get to the others.
At one point early in the walkout, a Chappelle supporter tried to crash the speakers at the mic. Later, there was pushing and shoving after another Chappelle fan carrying a sign that said "Dave is funny" tried to push over people to get to the front. One protesting Netflix staffer said, "I'm sorry, I can't speak to you." When approached by Deadline, organizers read out a list of asks that will be presented to Netflix's co-CEO Ted Sarandos. Here they are.
So the person that they seen that's Vito. We're gonna talk about Vito in a separate video because this might get too long. Vito is a YouTube comedian. He's kind of weird. He's a little funny. We'll talk about that walkout situation. He did hold up a sign reading that he supported Dave Chappelle, but also the sign got broken. And after they broke his sign, somebody else tried to attack his friend with the same sign, which he tried to do the same damn thing. And then some Antifa bitch ass motherfucker pushed his friend into a column, hit his head, and then he said, "Oh, you were choking him." The motherfucker wasn't choking nobody. The guy stepped in front of him trying to break his sign. So I ain't pussy like most of these people. So if you would have touched me or got anywhere close to me, I'm pushing you. Fuck out of here. Like, don't get 6 feet or 6 feet. It's up to you at the end of the day. We're all grown ass adults, and you want to act like children? We're going to act like children. Back off me. Simple as that. I really do feel like regardless, if you go to these protests and you support Dave, people will try to attack you because they feel like you're wrong in what you support. But let's hear out their demands. I'm probably going to start laughing from some of these. So let's go.
Eliminate references imagery of Chappelle inside of the workplace, including but not limited to murals, posters, room names, swag. Acknowledgement that the special causes harm to the trans community and Netflix's responsibility on it, so we keep the conversation around transphobia evolving internally.
How are you going to keep the conversation evolving internally, but then you also want to eliminate someone who is only having a conversation that he says, my jokes don't do damage more than your communities have bullied someone who supported me? Your bullying did more damage than my words ever did, than my comedy specials ever did. So how are you going to keep the conversation going? You should talk about the toxicity and the disgustingness in your communities if you want to come talk to me and talk to Netflix about marginalization and keeping someone out. Because what you're doing is you're marginalizing a comedian who has already been demonized for most comedians never being funny, for most comedians not having real jobs, and now having the space like Netflix to talk, to present himself, to have a conversation, to represent himself, to tell his stories, to talk about his friends, relationships, conversations, what communities like yours are doing to friends and families that was his friend and his family, to people about him. You're taking that and destroying it and saying, oh, we're going to further the conversation. But you should further the conversation saying how toxic you fucking people are. I'm sorry, it's just the stupidest shit I ever heard.
Trans and non-binary content investment.
You want to invest in trans and non-binary content? What content is that? Q-Force? I watched Q-Force, right? I watched Q-Force. I ain't gonna lie to you. Q-Force was funny for a little bit. Then it got a little raunchy. It was supposed to be like adult stuff, like, you know, for gay people, I guess. And then other people could watch it. I watched it because I thought it was like, animated weird shit. It's about gays and transgenders. And it's Q for everything, right? And I watched it, and I really said to myself, this is funny, this is interesting, This has a good premise. It's about, spies who are lesbian, trans, non-binary motherfuckers. One straight dude who is the stupidest motherfucker. Another straight guy in the military who is an asshole. Shit is crazy. But I do have to say something. For the most part, I respected the animation. I respected the stories. I respected people coming out. Even watching the Chicago whatever, that the white woman, I forgot her name, Diane Doris, whatever. She basically came out for the guy by accident to his mom when she was drunk. Watching that realizes you can't take those stories and conversations from people. Q-Force was fun, action-packed, but it was also about a man putting his entire life into a system who didn't love him, fuck with him, like him, care about him. And now he realizes he put all his time in there and doesn't even have a social life or a love interest. None of that shit. A lot of characters who are the outcasts of their own shit. I fucked with that. A lot of raunchiness was just so fucking annoying. And a lot of innuendos and a lot of dick. Okay? Titties. A lot of handmade tits. But dick. In itself was just a raunchy piece of shit. It was funny for like a couple of episodes here and there. I was like, I was like, oh, that's weird. That's it. Q-Force was just weird. Nice animation. Pretty fun. But that's it. For the most part, what other content can you invest in that's binary and queer and gay? What the fuck does that mean? Invest in this content. Like what? Like what? Motherfuckers is stupid. I'm sorry. Dummies.
A new fund to specifically develop trans and non-binary talent.
What?
This fund should support both above-the-line and below-the-line talent.
But what talent? What non-binary talent? Who out there am I gonna look for who is non-binary? I'm gonna go with TikTok, where all the motherfuckers are be calling deems and be calling doggos, and they're changing. For every second motherfucker has a non-binary fucking name on TikTok. The young people on TikTok, stupid as piss. Don't even know what the fuck they are. They're not even at my age, and they don't even know what the fuck they are. They're just making shit up. And you making up pronouns every 20 fucking seconds. Shit, 5 minutes from now, someone made up a new pronoun. Fucking the B pronoun, demon pronoun. Motherfucker, I can't. I love the guy that turned himself into a cat back in the days. And he literally was like, I feel like a cat. And he literally got the surgeries and everything and turned himself into a cat. Especially somebody who was like a fucking elf back in the days. They turned themselves into an elf because they really believed it. These motherfuckers went hard because they believed who they were, regardless if it was fake. Beautiful, but this shit is weird. What binary talent? What this shit don't make sense, bro. If I'm Netflix, I'm reading this and I'm like, this shit the fuck out my face.
This fund should exist in addition to the existing Creative Equality Fund.
No.
Investment in trans or non-binary content on Netflix comparable to our total investment in transphobic content, including comparable investment in the promotion of content.
You're making demands when you have no leverage. 100 people have no leverage. None of you people have leverage to make fucking demands. You don't. You have no leverage to make any demands. And I'm listening to this and I'm like, what leverage do you have to make demands? When you're making demands, you have leverage. You have none.
The comparable class of investment should include but not be limited to works produced by Dave Chappelle, Ricky Gervais' Afterlife, etc. Investment in multiple trans creators to make both scripted and unscripted programs across genres, revisit internal processes on commissioning and or releasing potential harmful content, involving numerous and diverse parties that can speak on its harm, including consultation on third-party vendors.
What the fuck? So you want them to eliminate anything that talks about or talks against trans communities or has deeper conversations into that? That don't make sense. And you don't even know if they're going to be, I keep saying demonizing because demonizing is kind of how they feel. They feel like they're being demonized. They feel like they're being discriminated against just because they're being made fun of. I've been made fun of for being fat. There's a reason my channel name is Fat Man. I have one day embraced being called fucking Fat Man and just said fuck it. Even when people see me at cons, it's Fat Man. Somebody was like, bro, do I gotta call you Fat Man? I'm like, yeah, nigga, it's fine. I don't get offended. You can just call me by my real name. If people know my real name, which usually it is, it's Darnell. So I let that be known. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to call me Fat Man, but when you see me at conventions or outside, yo, Darnell, Fat Man, yo, like, you know it's me because I'm always gonna be there. It's not offensive. It took me a long time to realize words don't hurt unless you give them power. How much of Dave Chappelle's words that they're giving power is like, this is the best publicity and bad publicity for Dave Chappelle, but also this makes the trans community and anyone in the binary LGBT alphabet community look like little bitches. I'm sorry. It makes y'all look like you can't take a joke, a pun. You can't take someone telling a story of his friend and the damage that your community's caused him and the family.
Revisit the ERG role in conversations around potential harmful content and develop materials to ensure we have the best-in-class regional support on complicated diversity issues, hire transgender content executives in leading positions, and promote an inclusive environment for them.
Leading positions like what? Why am I hiring someone for a leading position? What the fuck did they do for this position? Because they're trans and non-binary. That's called filling a quota. That's what they do in companies. That's called a quota fill. They do it with black people. They do it with trans people. Still to this day, they do it with Spanish, Mexican. It's called filling quotas. They fill quotas. That's called a quota fill. I'm not filling a quota. I'm hiring someone who's best for the job. If I ever run a company, I'm not hiring you because the color of your skin or that I'm ever going to use the word I'm a black YouTuber. Like, no, I'm just making a business. And if I'm hiring people, you better be good at the business, not just because you're trans or non-binary or gay. I'm hiring you because you're good at the job. If a non-binary person applies for the job and I don't see that they have enough skills or not good enough, I'm picking somebody else. That's how I do it in the business. But some people say businesses are rigged, businesses are racist, it is what it is. But you're making demands like you think you have fucking power structure in this business. You think that they're gonna listen to this and say, yeah, we're gonna hire this non-binary gay person to work. The hell?
Recruit trans people for leadership roles in the company and promote an inclusive environment for them.
No, there's nothing in the books that they have to do for this. There's nothing in the books that says they have to hire anyone non-binary or gay. That's called filling a quota. That's called quota filling. You assholes. What you're asking for Netflix is to do is fill a quota. Hey, yeah, let's hire more gay or LGBTQ community people so we can have them shut the fuck up. What you're asking them is you're basically saying, this is what we want to be happy and feel safe. Bitch, go make your own. If you have all these people that are willing to apply to Netflix and work these jobs, you can gather the same amount of people to build your own apps, to make your own shit feel funny, to have your own community support it, and have people outside the community to support it. What the fuck, man? Why are you trying to be like, we want this? You sound like little fucking children. This is what children do when you have no fucking leverage. Jesus.
The ability for trans employees and allies to be able to remove themselves from company promotional content. A disclaimer before the closer specifically saying it contains transphobic language, misogyny, homophobia, and hate speech. Boost promotion for disclosure and other trans-affirming titles in the platform.
You basically want to put a content warning over Dave Chappelle's shit. That's crazy.
Suggest such content alongside and after content flagged as anti-trans. The difference between tokenism and opportunity is the ability to access one's voice. Preston told Deadline today ahead of the rally, emphasizing the need for economic justice. Elliot Page and Lily Wachowski meanwhile took to social media to offer support for the walkout and retweet a PSA that includes Preston, Jonathan Van Ness, Angelica Ross, Yamila Jamal, Mason Alexander Park, Kate Bornstein, Our Lady J, Sarah Ramirez, Peppermint and Colton Haynes. Here it is. Even the official Netflix Twitter feed for LGBTQ+ storytelling took to the Hollywood streets today.
Now, the funniest shit that it says BRB walking out, and then this is the likes, and here are the comments, in itself, it's like, but what did you really do? What did you really do? Besides walk out and then realize when the year passes and Netflix don't listen to your demands, you're going to shrug your shoulders and say, they're still transphobic. Like, for real, Netflix is going to lose stock and sleep over this. Let's continue the rest of this and almost finish up. Apologies.
Netflix brass like co-CEO Ted Sarandos initially defended the Chappelle special against claims of transphobia and hate speech, saying it did not cross the line on hate speech even as trans staffers, past and present, and organizations such as GLAAD and National Black Justice Coalition condemned Chappelle's comments and the streamer's embrace of the superstar comedian's remarks.
He said it didn't go over the marks because it didn't demonize or offend. It didn't threaten or destroy. It didn't cut you people open the way you think it did. He made a valid point. Yes, the Beyond Meat shit was funny because he said they can create you a dick in the doctor's office all they want. They can make you a penis, but just like Beyond Meat, that shit ain't real meat. It may taste like meat. It may have the thickness like meat. Pause. But that bitch ain't meat. But that's funny. But that was funny. And regardless, I've eaten Beyond Meat and I still eat regular fucking like steak and burgers and shit when I want to, you know? There is a huge difference in between them shits. Obviously one is fake meat and the other one is real. Pause. But still, this shit is funny. The fact that Ted Sarandos was like, this isn't what you think it is, and it's not what you want it to be. Y'all niggas need to go sit the fuck down, cause for real.
Another Netflix superstar, Hannah Gadsby, cut straight to the chase and cause on October 15th in response to the corporate reaction, or lack thereof. You didn't pay me nearly enough to deal with the real-world consequences of the hate speech dog whistling you refused to acknowledge, Ted, wrote Gadsby on social media last week. FKU and your amoral algorithm count.
Acknowledge. Ted wrote Gadsby on social media. Fuck you and your moral algorithm count. I'm sorry. That shit's funny. Nigga said you can go fuck yourself.
As well as rare public hot water, the controversy has seen a crisis of culture within the streamer and resulted in temporary suspensions, at least one firing, and a sense of betrayal among some employees. On Tuesday, after the all-important quarterly earnings report came out, Sarandos reached out to the media with some clearly well-rehearsed lines in the hopes of diffusing the situation, which is one of the first times Netflix has felt a backlash of any sort since it became the dominant force in Hollywood. I screwed up the internal communication, and I don't mean just mechanically, he said. I feel I should have made sure to recognize that a group of our employees was hurting very badly from the decision made, and I should have recognized upfront before going into a rationalization of anything the pain they were going through. I say that because I respect them deeply, and I love the contribution they have at Netflix. They were hurting, and I should have recognized that first.
That's
in contrast to
what he basically said here is more of a PR jump back. Like, I have to say this just to make you feel happy, but I really don't give a fuck. And that's PR talk. That says literally somebody else coming in and giving you something to say, which and a lot of YouTubers use that. A lot of people do that. You get on camera, you start talking, and in reality, you get on camera talking doesn't do anything. It usually fucks you up even worse, which is possibly something that he didn't do. But he had a PR team. The PR team said, did say this. That's basically it. So to save his ass even more, to feel sorry about you. But in reality, it's like, I don't give a fuck, nigga. You gonna fuck yourself, fuck bitch ass motherfuckers. That's what I'm saying.
In contrast to Sarandos, fellow co-CEO Reed Hastings hasn't retreated an inch over the Chappelle controversy or the disclosure of financial information the past few weeks. On October 18th, Hastings steadfastly refused to discuss either matters during an appearance on philanthropy at the Well-Heeled Milken conference, while silence is his public face. An infuriated Hastings is the primary force behind stomping out any leaks of internal Netflix discussion, financial information of payments to talent like Chappelle and more, we've heard.
This is the last bit of it, and after this we'll get into the rest of the conversation.
To that end, staffers who are participating in today's trans walkout have been told they can exercise their right to protest, but they are under no circumstances to knowingly talk to the press, even while on the streets of Hollywood on Wednesday morning. In fact, an edict has gone out to units within the streamer that anyone who leaks will be fired immediately, as occurred to the staffer who revealed details to Bloomberg last week. More so, The company is indicating it will strictly enforce NDAs, including court action, a number of sources tell us. Publicly, the streamer is putting on a much more benign face. We value our trans colleagues and allies, and understand the deep hurt that's been caused, a Netflix spokesperson said Wednesday before the walkout. We respect the decision of any employee who chooses to walk out, and recognize we have much more work to do both within Netflix and in our content. And the staffers on the street agree.
Yeah, they definitely agreed. But the fact that Dave Chappelle seems to be the target, we'll talk about the rest of the... Actually, no, I think this is kind of it for the walkout and maybe more. We'll probably won't talk about this, and we'll probably talk about the Dave Chappelle and reporters and in general. But in its entirety, Dave Chappelle has said what he said. And the fact that it has angered people, pissed people off, or even gotten people mad out of their shorts. They're saying, this is the man, he is a demon, he is a monster. It is his fault that I feel this way, that it's you little bitches. I'm sorry. From a black man, even black people realize this country has shitted on us, has disrespected us, disturbed us in many ways. And there's a lot of black people out there who sympathize with what I'm saying. But we understand we live here now. We can make parts of this country a better place for us and our people. Or we get the fuck out of here and enjoy the rest of the world to still make areas that we want to go safe for us. Japan, very safe for us. Go out in a cabin with your shotgun, very safe for you. Safeness. You want inclusivity and being safe. Don't exclude. Take criticism. Take a joke. Let it be heard. You may not like what Dave Chappelle said, but it has been said. And there's nothing you're going to do that stops that. You're going to take this L, and that's going to be served to you. That's fine. Take the motherfucking L. Stop thinking that you're and why are niggas asking for demands? The fact that he said what he said, it's over, we let it go, and motherfuckers keep on doing shit. Even a Monty Python voice actor who voiced something has been canceled just because he supported Dave Chappelle by saying, go watch The Closer. This was really good. There's a reason supporting a comedian and something that they do has now been the most controversial thing ever. I support Dave. I do support the LGBT community. But I don't think people in this community are this pussy or that distraught over this. And if you are, did Dave Chappelle say we should kill them? Did he say you are monsters? Did he at any point break you down to the point that you felt that you were less human? No. Yes, he questioned you telling people to believe in what you believe in. And saying that if you are a trans woman becoming a trans man, you're not a man. And you gotta let that shit slide because people are not going to change how they think and feel. You can believe it, but they don't have to. And move on with your fucking day. The bullying in your communities forced my friend to kill herself. His words has never pushed anybody to that extent. And none of you can say it has. That's impossible. That's impossible. School shootings have made the survivors of those situations regret living their lives. Because now they don't know what to do. Like, I survived almost dying. Now what do I do? You know, that person may have offed themselves or try to find the happiness within light. They might have PTSD. You never fucking know. But there's never pussiness, bullshit, little punk inside of you. In itself, grow the fuck up. You feel marginalized? You feel that the world is stomping you out? I'm black. They don't love us out here. They want to kill us out here. They want to destroy everything that is different from them. They don't want you to have an afro in the workplace. They don't want you to have hair in the workplace. They want you to be a fucking mindless robot drone. Just like Becky, just like Susan, just like James. They want you to be robots. And the fact that you're like, we don't want to, I respect that. I've respected that. I understand my hair isn't corporate-like. Why the fuck you think I'll never cut my shit? Because I love my hair. The fact that a black man understands, hey, you are marginalized. I've been marginalized the rest of my life. But you can't go around trying to drill people into believing what you are. You believe it, and that is good for you. Let everybody else go. Dave Chappelle didn't say anything crazy to the extent that makes you feel that he's transphobic, he is all the things that they want to say. And the fact that y'all demand Netflix to hire this, you have no leverage. Yes, you have a platform and a voice. People heard it, but you have no leverage. The fact that you made these demands, I look at you like you're fucking stupid. And everybody else should look at you like you're fucking stupid. I'm just saying. The fact that y'all motherfuckers are doing this, you look like a bunch of bitches. Oh my, we want trans and binary, we want all of these things. It is respectful. But you have no leverage to offer these. And are you bringing names to the solution? Are you bringing anybody who can create this content, who can push this content out, who can have fun with this content? No, because I'm not saying it. It's not there. The fact that you said all of this without bringing names from your community and showing Netflix, hey, we have this director, this artist, this, and this. We feel like they can make good content for trans people and for regular people. Because I might want to watch some of that content. But if it's trash, I'm going to let you know. But then you're going to call me transphobic. Little bitch. I'm just saying. Dave Chappelle didn't do nothing wrong. And you need to grow the fuck up. This is your boy Fatman DD1. This is the longest video I ever made. This is the part of Not Holding Back series. We're going to talk about the rest of the stuff that has happened. Stay tuned for Vito stuff and someone else supporting the LGBT community. And this is the people that you support. You must be out your goddamn fucking mind. You're so stupid. It just is what it is. From me to you, remember to never give up. Never surrender and keep on grinding. And mad love to you. I'm just saying. So, welcome back, and we're getting into it. And that is a part of my series, the Not Holding Back. If you didn't like any of this, go fuck yourself, you little bitch.
Shit. Been on drum. You little niggas gonna stop acting like my shit ain't the grill. Some of you niggas get your front teeth for grills. And I ain't talking about the contract.
Ain't loving these fake hoes. Room smelling like 8 switches. Room service like 2K. NBA, I'm ballin', nigga. All them niggas falling like autumn, nigga. Talking shit, I saw them niggas. Now they daughter want a picture. Rough, ain't it? Fuck famous.
Yeah,
niggas too real, got the most haters. Wrote a story so Stephen Curry. How it feel to be golden.